What if I told you there's a simple trick pro writers use to make their sentences instantly sharper, clearer, and a whole lot more professional? Well, it's a total game changer, and today we are breaking down the entire playbook. Okay, take a look at this sentence. While the patient was recovering from surgery, the patient developed a fever. Now, technically, there's nothing grammatically wrong with it, but you feel it, right? It feels just a little clunky, kind of repetitive. So, does your own writing ever feel a bit tangled up like that? Where you know exactly what you want to say, but the words just come out feeling a little heavy? Well, trust me, you're not alone, and there is a really elegant fix. So, how do we fix it? Check this out. The after version is simply, while recovering from surgery, the patient developed a fever. See that? A tiny little tweak makes the whole thing cleaner, more direct, and honestly, it just flows so much better. It just sounds more professional. So, what is this magic trick? Well, this technique is called reducing clauses, and it's all about turning those tangled sentences into these really tidy, powerful statements. So, what in the world is reducing an adverbial clause? It sounds complicated, I know, but it's not. It just means we are strategically taking out a few words, the fluff, without changing the sentence's meaning at all. The goal isn't just to make things shorter, it's to make them more impactful. And the benefits? Oh, they're huge. Your writing immediately becomes more concise and professional. It's way easier for your audience to read. It gets rid of that clunky repetition we saw earlier. And let's be honest, it just sounds more sophisticated and academic. And this is a big but. Before you start chopping words out of your sentences, there is one single golden rule you absolutely, positively must follow. This is the key to the whole thing. And here it is, the same subject rule. It's simple. The rule is that the subject of that first part of the sentence, the adverbial clause, and the subject of the main part of the sentence have to be the same. This is the one non-negotiable part of this whole technique. Okay, this slide right here makes it crystal clear. You can only do this if the subject in both parts of the sentence is the same. In that first example, it's the patient and the patient. We're good to go. But look at the second one, the patient and the nurse. The subjects are different. So you absolutely cannot reduce it. If you tried, you just end up with a confusing mess. All right, now that you know the golden rule, let's get into the playbook itself. It's a simple 3-step process you can use every single time. So here's the play. Step 1, check your subjects. Are they the same? That's our golden rule. Step 2, remove the subject from that first clause. And step 3, change the verb. You either just remove a be verb, like was or is, or you change the main action verb into its ing form. That's it. Check, remove, change. Simple. Okay, theory is great, but now it's time to put this playbook into action. Let's look at a few different types of clauses and see exactly how these rules work in the real world. First up, we've got time clauses. For while the patient was waiting, we follow the playbook, remove the subject, the patient, and the be verb was, and you're left with the super crisp while waiting. For after the surgeon completed, we remove the subject and change completed to its ing form, completing. And in that third passive example, before the medication was administered becomes before being administered. See the pattern? Now for reason clauses, using words like because. These are kind of cool. They have a special trick. Often, you can remove the word because itself. So because the patient was allergic becomes the very concise being allergic. And since the patient had diabetes becomes having diabetes. It's incredibly efficient. Contrast clauses are often the easiest. For although the patient was in pain, you just literally remove the subject and the be verb, the patient was, and you're left with although in pain. It's such a simple deletion that tightens up the sentence beautifully. Just a quick word of caution. With condition clauses, words like if or unless, be careful. You can sometimes reduce them, but only if the meaning stays perfectly clear. When you're in doubt, especially in technical writing, it's almost always safer to just leave the full clause alone. Clarity is always king. And this is where we see the real-world power of this whole thing. Look at this little snippet from a medical report. The before version is perfectly fine, but the after? It's so much sharper. Having an elevated white blood cell count, antibiotics were started. It's professional, it's direct, and it gives the same information with way more authority. This is the kind of writing that builds credibility. Okay, you've seen how it works. Let's just wrap up with a few final rules of the road to make sure you're using this technique effectively and correctly every single time. Knowing when not to use a tool is just as important as knowing how to use it. So here are the big red flags. Don't do it when the subjects are different. Don't do it if the original meaning might get even a little bit unclear. And definitely don't do it in complex instructions where every single word matters. When in doubt, leave it. So before you make a change, just run this quick mental checklist. 1. Are the subjects the same? 2. Will the meaning stay 100% crystal clear? And 3. Does it sound natural? If you can check all 3 boxes, you are good to go. And if you need a quick way to remember the nuts and bolts, just think of the 3 R's. You remove the subject, you remove the be verb, or you rewrite the action verb to ing. That's the heart of the process right there. So there you have it, a complete playbook that pros use to really elevate their writing. It's a simple but super powerful tool to make your work tighter, clearer, and more impactful. The only question left is, are you ready to start sharpening your sentences?